What's up, everyone? Welcome to another vlog. And today I'm really excited to make this video because I'm going to be sharing some tips or rather advice to anyone who's actually planning to come to the United States for maybe a study abroad, or maybe a transfer program, or maybe he's just a freshman. So uh, I'm just really excited to make this because I have actually gone through all this. Whatever I'm going to talk about is basically based on my own experiences, and I know that this has actually helped me a lot. So I thought that I should just package this into a video and just share it with you guys because um, it might actually make things much more easier for you when you actually come over here, regardless of which university you have gone to. Just a little background about me. I've actually gone to the Rochester Institute of Technology. I did my bachelor's degree in computer security over there, and I actually was a study abroad initially as well, and then I transferred to the university after coming over here. So, based on all that, I want to talk about what I what I've done. I'm gonna also tell you what you could do to actually basically enhance the experience once you come over here. So, I would say let's get to it. All right, so tip number one, I would say, is research your professors, or rather, research your department, because especially the classes that you're taking over here. So, re- connect with all the professors whom you're taking classes with, especially if it's your major, like especially if it's your major courses. Well, the first reason is because since you're new over here, it's just better up to get a good head start or a heads up about what classes are like, because chances are the program at your university and your home campus and wherever you are might be very different from how it is taught over here, or maybe you're just coming from a different campus, or maybe you're just coming to the maybe it's just your first time here in general. So getting a heads up on your class and on what it's like on your classes, just getting a heads up on that is just much more, it might just make it things much more smoother for you, and it's like, okay, you know what to expect. Also, connecting with the professors means that, okay, the professor is like, okay, he knows you, he knows that you're a new person, and he might actually be able to help you out a little bit more, because again, you might not know how things might work in this campus or in the campus that you're going to, and it's just that he might make this transition much more smoother for you. So having that connection with the professors is much more useful. Also, networking. I mean, generally talking to professors is a great way to start networking in the like right now itself, especially if you're not in the United States. Once you get over here, starting with your professors is the best way, because through them you would basically be able to connect to other professionals in the industry, especially concerning your own major. So I would definitely take advantage of that and do not lose that opportunity. Um, and also, they might actually help you out with your resume. Maybe they might actually be able to help you. They might help you out with, maybe an internship. Maybe they know someone who's having internships, and they might just be able to refer you if you actually show interest in that subject. So, for example, you're taking a class in cryptography, and maybe there's an internship that deals with cryptography or whatnot, and you're actually a student who shows interest in that. If you're actually interested in it, it's a good connection. This is just an example, by the way, but I'm just saying that it's never a bad thing to network with your professors. Keep that in mind. The second thing I want to talk about is the on campus jobs. Now, here in the United States, especially if you're an international student, you can actually work on campus because you will actually have a work permit from your university. Now I don't want to get into that, but I do know that you can actually do that. Obviously, if you Google this, you'll get it. But in general, you are allowed to work on campus as a student. Now, it could be anywhere. It could be in the library, it could be in maybe a restaurant, it could be in, you could even be a note taker, you could be a research assistant, you could be working even with a professor or even with a graduate student. There's like a lot of stuff that you could do when it comes to an on campus job. What I would recommend is basically working for maybe a professor or working as a research assistant. uh, you could just work for like 5 hours a week just for that, and you could even do another job on campus, which is something related outside your major. So what I did was I basically worked for my own department. We had something known as a safe lab, where I actually did a lot of pen testing for a couple of products for a particular company. And that actually helped me gain much more experience with my own field because I was doing cybersecurity and that was pretty much what I was doing. So it kind of helped me apply my concepts that I've learned in class onto a real life project. So that's just me, that's just my story. But I'm just saying that there are a lot of programs, a lot of jobs that are there that could be related to your major. So look out for those. And those might be very they might they might not be easy to find, but they're definitely out there if you actually go look for it. Another thing is also you don't have to work for something like this. If you want to get a break from your own major, definitely look out for jobs that are related to uh, that's not related to your own major. So you could probably work in maybe a restaurant. That way you get to meet different people. You'll also get to meet different people in the library if you want to work over there. You could also be meeting people. You could also work in. You could also do writing, for example. Maybe you could work for a magazine um, that's on campus. Like my campus had something known as forgot what it's called, but they did have a magazine that they published, and usually students would write articles over there, and I think they would actually get paid for it. So just look out for stuff like that. It's very simple, but don't lose on this opportunity, especially once you just get over here. It's a good way to also earn some extra income, you know. So definitely take advantage of it. The third thing that I want to talk about is clubs. Now, at least in my campus, there were like at least 100 clubs, I think, and it's really overwhelming because all of them are pretty much interesting, and you're gonna love them all because like it's just like you want to do so much, but then there's very little time, right? So before coming over here, I actually researched all the clubs that are there on campus, and I actually was like, okay, let me see what clubs actually interest me the most, and I made like a top five, because I know that I'm not going to be able to attend all 100 clubs, right? So one of the clubs was called RC3. It's a cybersecurity club at RIT where students basically meet up and they talk cybersecurity. They learn different stuff. They work on projects. They work. They even do competitions. So that actually gave me an opportunity to participate in competitions, take part in class activity, sorry, not class activity, and the club activity and whatnot. And it's just a better exposure. It also helps you connect with people from the industry because a lot of sponsors for that club are basically people outside, basically external companies. So definitely, it was a good opportunity for me to join that club, and I did meet a lot of people there. Another club that I joined was the Bhangra Club, which shout out to Kaushal because he was the one who actually told me let's join this because Bhangra, by the way, is an Indian dance. It was an amazing experience for me because I got to learn Bhangra and I actually did I think just one performance, but it was definite. No, I did like two performances or maybe more than that. But it was a memorable experience and I just loved it. I just got to meet a lot of people, and it was an amazing experience for me at least. So yeah, take advantage of those the clubs that you actually have on campus because there are a lot. A couple of clubs that I actually wanted to join was also like swing dancing. There was I think another dancing club called Velocity. The thing is that when you have a lot of courses and whatnot, it's difficult to actually make time. So I prioritized the clubs that I actually was part of. So I just made a commitment and I was like, okay, these are the clubs that I'm gonna try out. Occasionally, I did go and try out those other clubs as well, like in their weekly meetings. But then I realized that did not work for my schedule. So it really depends on an individual. But bottom line, research your clubs, see what interests you, try them out, and then make a decision. Fourth thing is networking events. Now, whichever campus that you're part of will definitely have networking events such as maybe career fairs. It could be companies that are coming to give a talk about their company and whatnot. And in general, like networking events are it's key to actually look out for because um, it's just like a good way to meet people outside. Now, they're not going to be called networking events. It might be called a meetup or it might be called, hey, so Datto is coming to campus to give a talk about their company or maybe they're collecting resumes and whatnot. So make sure that you know about all this. And the best way to know about all these events is your career advisor. So if you have a career advisor at your campus, which you should be having, most universities over here have it, reach out to them and be like, hey, I want to know about what events are happening in the next couple of weeks, so just so that I have a heads up. And they won't hesitate to give that to you. And they're like, okay, here's what we have, and you can put that on your calendar just so that you have a heads up and you don't want to like miss out on that. If they say no, well, they're going to send you emails about it, so you don't have to worry. But if you can get a heads up, it's always good. Like, I would definitely have that on my calendar way ahead of time. Another thing what I want to mention is definitely your driving license. Now, as if you're an international student, you're most likely coming out an F1 visa, which means you are eligible to actually get a driving license over here. Trust me, that's very useful and it's not as complicated as it sounds. It's very easy to get a license over here. If you just, you can probably get it in a month or two. And if you're even doing a study abroad over here, you're probably going to be here for like 4 months. So definitely take advantage of that and get your driving license if that really interests you. It's just that having a valid ID over here is, I don't know, it's good. It's just good to have. It might actually even help you out when it comes to internships. Maybe because some jobs might require you to have a driving license. I don't know, but it's just a valid. It's a good document to keep. Well, I also want to talk about building your portfolio. That is definitely, I would say, recommended, especially if you're going for events like career fair, because your portfolio is what's actually gonna help you probably get an internship or a job that you're looking for. Now, when I say portfolio, it could mean your own personal website, or it could even mean your LinkedIn account. LinkedIn, I can't stress it enough, is very important. I would definitely say if you haven't built a LinkedIn account, make one and fill it up with whatever you have. And if you do have one and you haven't updated it, fill it up, update it, and move on from there, because it's one of the best ways to actually make connections outside, especially connecting with recruiters and connecting with professionals in general. It's a very good tool, especially in the past 2 years. I think it has increasingly been the source for a lot of people to actually land an internship or land a job. So take advantage of that. And if you haven't reached if you haven't started yet, start now. you know uh, First, write on a piece of paper, write down everything that you have, whatever experiences that you want to show off. Write that down, and when you go on LinkedIn, just add that, like, massage it a bit and just add all that information over there. And lastly, I would definitely say is, don't be nervous. Coming over here is definitely, for me specifically, it was very nervous because I was coming here for the first time and I was going to be living over here alone for quite a bit. So that was definitely something that was very overwhelming for me. But I think that, I'm just thankful for my parents because they supported me a lot and they actually helped me out during this entire process. And coming here was not very difficult. And also, for me, I knew someone over here. Like, for example, again, shout out to Kaushal, because he's the guy who actually helped me meet people over here. He introduced me to a couple of his friends, and I mingled with them and whatnot. We hung out, and I also knew people because when I was coming for a study abroad, there were other people who were coming from my campus over here as well. So it was not a really bad transition for me because it was not that I did not know anyone over here. But for maybe some of you, you might not know anyone here, which might be again very overwhelming, and that might be difficult. But let's say you do know someone over here, it's definitely helpful. But whatever I've said in this video, everything from the beginning is intended for you. Uh, whatever I said was basically meant for anyone who does not know anyone over here. You might not have relatives, you might not have friends. So all those tips and advice which I've said before applies to you. All right. My story is a little bit different, but it's not like I still had to do stuff on my own anyways. So it's not like if you know people over here, things are just gonna work out. You still have to put in the work. You still have to put in the work to do what, if you want to get a job on campus, for example, you have to do that by yourself. Yes, you could ask help and they might be able to refer you and whatnot, but you still have to follow up and do all that kind of stuff. So, you know, that don't like think that knowing someone over here might be very, very helpful. Yes, it might be an advantage, but definitely make sure that you do your own homework. All right. And yeah, so just that's basically it. I hope that you find this video very useful. And if you do, leave a comment down. And if I've missed out on anything, please leave a comment because I'm pretty sure I probably missed out some stuff. I did write down everything on this piece of paper, whatever. I kind of like summarized all that because obviously I won't be able to remember everything. But this is basically a summary of what all I've experienced. I'm pretty sure there's maybe a bunch of stuff that I missed out on. Maybe in another video, if I ever get that, I'll try to put that out, or maybe I'll write an article about it and try to make that much more detailed, just so that you guys have that on, an actual document. So we'll see. But for now, please share this video with anyone who might need help, anyone who is actually coming here for the first time. Share this video with them. If they find it useful, good. If they don't, good as well. So definitely, I just hope that you find I just hope that I was able to provide it a lot of I hope that I could provide some value to you through this video, and I hope you have a good day. Take care. Peace.